YouTube? I feel like it's been a long time since I made a video, and it really has been. It's been about a week. Anyway, the first part of this is just going to talk about my training, what I've been doing for the last week or so, and then the rest will be the Q&A video that YouTube, for whatever reason, just wasn't uploading. It wasn't a content or a copyright issue, it was just my internet. It was being really annoying. 4 hours for a 10-minute video, so I'm just going to do it with this big lifting clip. Anyway, my last week of training was not the best. I've been having a lot of weird just joint issues with my shoulder, with my left shoulder and my left elbow, and I figured it was all coming from my squat pattern. Looking at it, Coach Patrick and I found two major issues. The first big issue was the fact that my bar wasn't centered on my back. This caused most of the weight to be on my left arm, and it hurt. Like, I finally realized what was going on, and it just did not feel good. It kept me out of benching. It kept me out of doing some seriously heavy squats. And the only way to really fix it was rest, but the problem is I don't have time to rest. So it was ice, ibuprofen, and then some Tylenol. I'm also going to experiment with some icy hot and some stuff that Ben Pollock recommends. I'll link it in the description box, but it should be coming in within the week. Anyway, so what I ended up doing was deloading, finding my center, and moving my hands out also, because I'm not mobile enough to have my elbows in so narrow, and it caused a lot of pain also through my wrists, elbow, and shoulder. So if you're having pain with a low bar squat, I'd say if you're not competing, the first thing to do is stop doing a low bar squat. It seems like it's common sense, but it's not. You don't need to low bar squat. You can do high bar, you can do front squat, you can do safety squat bar, you can do goblet squats. There are much better alternatives out there if something is causing you pain. Don't force a round peg into a square hole. I hope I said that right, or got the right phrase down. But anyway, sorry for the crack. I didn't realize my pants were so low. My bad, fan. But anyway, the last thing we noticed is that my feet were a little uneven. When I do my walkout, it's different than how it used to be. I used to walk out with my left foot first, and then my right foot would come behind. But now my left foot or my left leg can't handle all the pressure because of my knee injury. So what I started doing was putting all my weight on my right foot, but then I just got to figure out where my right foot is in relation to my left foot and then make them even. And part of that is just practice and being focused on what I'm doing. Anyway, overall, last week was just a wash. This week has started off much better. I did 420 for 15 singles. And I also did some very successful speed squats, where we also noticed that I was losing tightness in the hole. Anytime you take a long layoff of a lift, your technique will just go to hell. It's like a skill. If you don't practice a skill, you're not going to get good at it. You're not going to stay good at it, no matter who you are. If you don't swing a baseball bat for 6 months, you won't be good at hitting a baseball, at least at the time, or for the first few times you try. So just keep that in mind. If you've had an injury, your form will go to hell, your technique will go to hell, and just habits that you may have thought were good ended up not being so good. The last real big lift I'll talk about is this 365-pound RDL for 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Really easy. It was like an RPE 7. I should have tried 400, but I had a client at 4:30 that day, so I just had to get it over with. But it was easy. My hamstrings are getting strong, which means my deadlift is getting strong, which means my squat will improve a little bit, but not as much as people think, because the hamstrings don't really have much to do with the squat. Anyway, here's the start of a Q&A portion of a video. This is from Saturday on my Athlete Physique page. If you're watching this and you don't follow the Facebook page, search the Athlete Physique, and the group will pop up. It's the very first one. Anyway, Eugene asks, I know a fella who went from 115 by 5 touch and go to 3 by 10 pause in 5 months. How realistic is that? It's not realistic for the average person, but it's not unheard of. There's such thing as genetic outliers, and then you may have just ran into one of them. Rank every Avenged Sevenfold album from least favorite to favorite. Well, I don't have that kind of time, but my favorite is probably Waking with Fallen, followed by This is a good one, actually. Followed by blanking on it, but Sidewinder's on it, Backcountry's on it, MIA's on it. Can't remember the name. And then I like Nightmare a lot also. My favorite Avenger, probably Thor, because he's low key funny. Thoughts about training arms every day. Not every day, but you can add some decent amount of frequency and they'll recover fast. Did hand shoot first? Yes, he did. He's a badass. Protein intake of 0.8 gram per pound of body weight is optimum for a good physique. I recommend 1 gram per pound of body weight because you don't have the opportunity to sell yourself short. And if you do, you won't miss by too much. If you were to go 0.8 but not be consistent, you're not getting enough protein. When should you start bulking? That's a very open-ended question. I would spend most of your time of a year bulking, so that means 9 to 10 months just getting stronger. Fat gain, if you do it right, it'll be minimal, but it's inevitable at the same time. So you just gotta kind of suck it up and do it. What exactly is submaximal training? Good question, actually. Again, some of these questions that may sound dumb are actually rather smart. I define submaximal training as training in a rep range that is between 60 to 85% of your 1 rep maximum. The problem is, with most of you guys, you don't have a 1 rep max. That is when I use RPE. I use RPE for beginning clients to kind of gauge how they know how to lift, if that makes sense. And then I use it to gauge advanced lifters because they really know themselves and know when to push and when to pull. How to find their maintenance calories. I would take a week to 2 weeks and kind of feel out what calories you maintain your body weight at. You can do that through a weekly average or even a daily average. How is my love life? Non-existent. It's a sad life. Coming off starting strength, how would you transition into hypertrophy training? I would just up your rep ranges and focus on your weak body parts. So, for example, for me, my calves are weak, so I would spend 2 or 3 days a week just hitting calves if I were to focus on hypertrophy. Also, my hamstrings are kind of small, so I'd spend a lot of time working on my hamstring size in the 12 to 15 rep range. Symptoms of nerve damage. That's a little beyond my scope of practice, but generally people will lose feeling and they won't be as strong. Best replacement for deadlifting when there are no free weights. Can you deadlift with dumbbells? I wouldn't deadlift with dumbbells, but you can do single leg deadlifts. You can do Romanian deadlifts. You can do stiff leg deadlifts. The world isn't over. As long as you get that hinging pattern, you'll be okay. How many steroids do I take to win? All of them. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the Q&A portion. I'll just leave the rest of the footage up as raw stuff that you can watch. I'll try to find a way to put the sound back on. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you like my channel, share it with your friends. If you think you're learning something, share it with your friends. If you have any constructive feedback, also feel free to comment it. I do read all the comments, and I do my best to kind of adjust as I go. And anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video.